So in today's video, I'm going to be decluttering the bookshelves that are right behind me in my office. So far, I've decluttered this bookshelf right here, and that was the first step into the decluttering process after taking quite some time away from decluttering. I am trying to approach minimalism again with a more moderate approach. In the past, I've gone super minimal and regretted getting rid of some things, and also realized I had created like some gaps in my life with like hobbies and practical things that were missing from my home all of a sudden, because I thought I needed to have a specific number of things to be a minimalist, and that triggered like a whole rebuying period. So we're back, we're gonna be a minimalist. We're gonna approach it more moderately, and we're going to declutter very intentionally the bookshelves behind me and decide what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to donate. So we're gonna start with the top level of the bookshelves. So right above the bookshelves, I've kind of stuffed a lot of random shit there, and then I'm gonna work my way down and go through the rest of the shelves in today's video. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a small step ladder so I can reach everything that I stuffed on top of the bookshelves. I'm going to bring everything down that's up there and do a quick dust of the surface up there, and then I'm going to go through everything that was up there. Some things probably need to be put somewhere else, like they don't belong on top of the bookshelves. I just put them there because I didn't want to try to figure out where I should put them elsewhere in the apartment, and then there are probably some things I'm going to declutter. So let's get into it. Okay, so I just finished dusting up there, and now I'm going to go through everything that was on top of the bookshelves and decide what I'm going to do with it all. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to grab is this birthday card that I got that I've been displaying. It's just super cute. It's super cute, and I still want to leave it out, so I'm probably going to leave it on my desk for now and then decide a good spot for it. Next, I have my helmet. It's a really cute mint green color. It's for like my bike and if I do any skateboarding. So I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to find a better place for it, probably in my walk-in closet with my other like outdoor equipment. I also have a glide gear teleprompter that I thought I would be using more to make YouTube videos, but then I realized I sound like I'm reading from a script when I use it, which I am. So I'm going to probably hold on to this for the future in case I need to make like sit down videos where I have an actual script I need to refer to, but it doesn't belong on my bookshelves. I'm going to put it in my closet. Next, I have this roll of craft paper, which I put down anytime I'm doing like watercolors or markers and I want to protect the surface of like my desk or any area where I'm doing art. So I'm going to actually stick this next to my bookshelves where I have a balance board and my teleprompter, and I'll just, you know, stand it up next to the bookshelves in that little spot. I think that's fine. I have this figurine of an alpaca that was made out of real alpaca fur. No alpacas were harmed in the making of this. They are, their coats are shaved in the summer, so this is made out of real alpaca fur, and I met the alpaca who donated his fur for this figurine. His name is Cream Puff, and he's really cute. So I'm going to keep this, just going to stick it back on top of the bookshelves. I think that's a good spot for a few decorative items, but not like everything I had up there, like making it all cluttered. So yeah, let's stick it back up there. I also have this decorative punched tin that has cats on it and this battery operated candle, so I'm going to stick these back up there as well. I have a notebook. This is going to go where the notebooks live. I have the expansion pack for the Adventure Zone board game. I'm going to see if I can fit this in the actual board game box. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm going to open up and see if these items will also fit in there, because that would be great to just store the expansion with the rest of the game. I also have some manga paper or comic comic paper, some manga making supplies. My cats like to try and chew this kind of plastic, so that's why I'd put it up there. I don't think it belongs up there. I'm gonna reorganize and put it with my art supplies, but for now I am gonna put it back up there just so a creature doesn't start nibbling, right Buffy, nibbling on this package again. What do you think, Buff? Okay, lastly I have a stack of books. So this is a to be read pile, meaning I haven't read these books yet. I actually haven't really started reading them yet either. So I do want to keep them separate from the rest of my books on my shelves that I have read, but I also want to keep them together because I want to know what my options are when I pick another book to read. I'm going to leave them on my desk for now, but I need to find a good spot for books that I have to read that I haven't read yet. I need to find a better spot for them. I also realized that I forgot to talk about why that shelf is empty right there. So I keep that shelf empty because this creature, Buffy, this little cat here, absolutely loves to climb onto my bookshelves, and that's the only bookshelf she can reach from my desk. In the past I had some books up there and she kept just knocking them to the ground to make room for herself. So I leave it open for her now so she can go sit there if she wants to, because she's really cute and I like having her on this shelf next to me. Okay, so here's what the top of the bookshelves look like right now. It does look weird to just have two decorative items up there, so we're gonna keep thinking about where to put those, but in the meantime, I'm going to move on to the shelves on the right-hand side. So let's do it. Okay, so starting with the bookshelves right here, specifically this shelf here. I'm not gonna do this shelf because I already did that one. But starting with this bookshelf here, I actually know that I'm going to keep all these books, which I know is probably like disappointing, like shouldn't I go through and consider them, but the books on this shelf are all series that I've read and loved and am currently reading, might still be reading. So I have the Marissa Meyer's books, the Lunar Chronicles. I have the fourth one on my desk in my bedroom since I'm still reading that one. I have some Discworld novels by Terry Pratchett. Really love Terry Pratchett, really love Discworld. I loan these books to friends. I try to get everyone to read Discworld, so I'm gonna keep those. And then I also have some Neil Gaiman books and some Patrick Rothfuss over here, so we're gonna keep those as well. But I'll take everything off this shelf and just give it a quick dust and then put everything back on here. And then we'll move down to the shelf below this that has like my notebooks and some other like stationery supplies, and that is going to be that's going to be very much a decluttering triumph because I already know there's stuff in there I do not want. So yeah, I completely forgot that I was storing boxes of envelopes behind these books that I know I'm going to keep, so I'm really glad I decided to move them anyway and dust the shelf because this is not where envelopes should be. I definitely have a better spot for them, so I'm going to relocate these as well. On to the notebooks and stationery items, office supplies, I guess. We'll start with whatever this stuff is right here. Ugh. Okay, so I have a pack of colored pencils. I was in a writing group where we would do like a creative exercise before we started writing together over Zoom, and we would do some coloring. So I bought these for that purpose. Let's see. I have some coloring books also for the purpose of like doing some coloring before I do like a more intensive creative writing process or creative activity, I guess. I think I'm going to hold on to those for now because I want to just see if coloring helps. I don't know. I'm in this creative rut. That's why we're decluttering things, to try and like find that spark again. And I don't want to just give up on coloring as like a relaxation activity. It might work for me, I don't know. I don't really remember it working in the past, but we're gonna give it another go, I think. And I don't think 2 coloring books and some pencils is too much to hold on to like attempt coloring again. I also have this book on watercolor. It's like a step-by-step watercolor book, how to do really cute little watercolor paintings where they walk you through every single step. I did go to college for art and creative writing, so I definitely know how to paint with watercolors. Like that's something that we studied in college that I spent money on. But it's fun to just have things already broken down for me instead of having to like look at something and break it down myself into the elements that I'm going to use to represent that thing in watercolors. So I think there's still a lot for me to learn if I want to keep doing watercolors, and I don't know, it's just like, it's kind of cute and fun. And then I also have some comic book paper where the panels are pre-outlined for me, or pre-printed, I guess. And I thought this would be a good way to get back into making comics, something that I really loved to do growing up, like from like the earliest, like even before I like owned my own comic books, I was drawing comics, just based on like what I saw in the Sunday funnies in the newspaper. So I've done that for a very long time. I used to take like a sheet of blank computer paper and then turn it into a comic and draw really tiny little panels so I could fit like every panel of my story on that piece of paper. And then as I got older, I like expanded into making like manga and getting all of those supplies and like learning how to use them. And it's been a while since I've drawn any comics, so it's something I want to get back into, and I thought that this would be a helpful tool to kind of take away some of the intimidation of the blank page if you already have panels waiting for you to just fill in with whatever you want. So we're going to hold on to that and see once I get through my decluttering process and I reassess what I want to do creatively, like what's for fun, what's like a professional creative goal. I want this to be obviously on the table. Next, my notebooks. These are only some of the notebooks. I do have a box of completely full notebooks in my closet that I need to go through and get rid of. I definitely want to maybe just like scan any pages that have maybe story ideas or anything helpful, and then just get rid of the rest, because sometimes I just have a bunch of to-do lists in there. I don't need to keep to-do lists from a decade ago. That's crazy. Anyway, going through this bin, I have some like fun little postcards that I'll probably keep and figure out what I'm going to do with. Maybe I'll keep but put this aside as but figure out something to do with them. Am I displaying them? Are they being used as bookmarks if I don't have enough bookmarks? We'll figure out what I'm doing with those. Then I have a new notebook I'm going to hold on to. I have this notebook that still has pages in it, and I'm going to use it up. I have an anxiety journal. I haven't really started using it that much. Or actually I did start using it. There's a couple pages filled in here. I think I'm going to hold on to this because I would like to. This is aspirational clutter. I would like to use it. I have this book of writing prompts that I was using to kind of, inspire the muse, the internal muse, get some writing done. But I just paged through this, and a lot of these prompts are really terrible, like relive a childhood memory as an adult. Most of the time, no thank you. That's hard for everyone. I had a happy childhood and it's hard. There's a lot of like secondhand embarrassment I feel as an adult thinking about childhood me. Another one is like, describe a mistake that cost someone their life, having the boss over for dinner, a suspected affair. I must have gone through, because I've definitely used a bunch of these prompts and like filled out some of them. I must have gone through and already done all the cute fun ones, and I definitely don't want to do the other ones, so this is gonna go. I have this notebook. This notebook only has like 2 or 3 pages left, which is absolutely insane, so we will leave it in here so I can finish it. I have this notebook. This one still has a lot of blank pages, so we'll keep using it. I have this notebook. This one I think has a decent amount. Yeah, I'm gonna give this to my mom. I only used a few pages, so we'll give this to my mom, take out the pages I already used. And then I have these two notebooks. This one I just started, so that one's good to stay. This I think is a brand new one, so I can crack into this whenever I'm ready. I really like these composition notebooks because it gives me like a really big page to write on. It's just more comfortable, and the lines are really big, so my writing doesn't need to be super cramped and tiny. So overall, these are the notebooks that I'm keeping. These are the notebooks that I'm getting rid of. This bin is half empty now, which is really cool. I think what I'm going to do is put the books that were kind of hanging out next to it in here, the coloring books and the manga book, since now I have all this cool room. So I'm on to the second bin of stationery supplies. I'm going to go through this, then I'm going to go through a bunch of the books on these shelves, then I'm going to circle back to art supplies and tech stuff and get through that last, I think. So let's go through this bin. I'm just going to kind of go through it pretty quickly and then show you what I'm getting rid of and what I'm keeping. Okay, so I went through everything in this bin. I am relocating some things, getting rid of some things, and then the boxes of envelopes now fit in here, which is great, so they can be part of the office supply bin. Passing on some tiny notebooks, some unused index cards, some command hooks that I don't need. There's nothing else I want to hang on the wall. A couple things I'm relocating. So this pencil case is going to go in my closet with the rest of my tiny bags. This mirror is also going to go in my my makeup stuff. And then this is actually for getting eraser dust off a page if you're doing some art or some drawing. So this is going to go with my art supplies. Here's the finished result of the stationery shelf. Welcome to day 2 of the video where I actually declutter my bookshelves, and I mean all of them, and go through all of them. We got through everything on this side yesterday, which is good. The last shelf down here is just a printer and a package of printer paper, so I just dusted that. No need to declutter either the printer or the printer paper, but today we're going to focus on this side of the bookshelf, which will be very exciting because, as you can see, that's the majority of my books, and we are going to declutter these books. There are definitely some titles in here that I can see that I'm ready to move on from, so let's get started. Here are some of the books that I took off these shelves. So I'm just going to go through these, decide what I'm keeping, what I'm donating, put back the books that I'm going to keep, and then we'll discuss what's being donated. Alright, so I went through all these shelves. In the middle of my bookshelves, the middle tier of shelves, I took all of the books down. I dusted each shelf, made sure it was clean, placed all the books on my desk here, went through them, decided on what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to donate. I left my partner's books on the one bookshelf that I keep them on because he has such a small collection. I'm totally fine with keeping them. Obviously, I would never get rid of any of them without his approval, but it's such a small collection, they're totally fine living on my bookshelves. I have plenty of room for them. So I just went through books that belong to me, and I found one book that was loaned to me by my mom, so I'll be returning that to her. I feel really good about my progress. I do actually have a stack of books that I will be donating, and I also just wanted to point out, as I go through this process, I definitely want to go through and show you the books I'm donating and what I'm keeping. The next step will be for me to put back everything I'm keeping. Maybe I'll say a few things about what books I've decided to keep on my shelves, and then I'll go through the stack of books that I'm donating, and I want to do that because I don't want to focus too much on the books that I'm getting rid of, like, oh, these titles are leaving my bookshelves, maybe there's something wrong with them. If these books made it to my shelves, it meant that I enjoyed reading them enough to place them on my bookshelf and hold on to them and see, like, you know, maybe I was going to reread them in the future. If it was a book I didn't enjoy, I got rid of it immediately. It never made it to the bookshelf. So although I am decluttering and donating some of these books, I still really enjoyed them. I still really think that people who like these authors should check these books out. They're just not going to be reread by me at this time in my life. And I also have just a bunch of books in my to be read pile, my TBR, and my currently reading pile that lives in my bedroom right now. And it's kind of just, it's kind of taken over the desk in my bedroom, in my end table. And I'm excited to have space now on my bookshelves to bring some of those books in as I go through and finish reading them, and not have like books on top of the bookshelves like I did before. So we're going to go through, we're going to move some of these books back onto the bookshelves, anything I'm keeping, and then I'll go through the small stack of books that I am donating from the middle tier, and then we'll just keep going. There's some more books to go through. We'll keep going. I'm not going to touch the TBR or the books I'm currently reading today. I'm going to, take my time with those and probably revisit this in a couple months and go through my books again. I think it is really helpful to go through my books every few months. So yeah, let's put some books back. Let's get these shelves looking cute again, and then we'll go through and talk about some of the books I'm decluttering. Time to talk about the books I'm decluttering. Starting with Not Me by Eileen Miles. This is a poetry collection. I really did enjoy this. I'm going to see if my mom would be interested, because these are really great poems, obviously. Obviously it's Eileen Miles. So I'm going to see if she wants to read that. I don't really read that much poetry. I should probably read more poetry. I do really like it. It does hit very right. I just also really want to read novels. That's kind of my go-to, is reading novels. So we're going to donate that. I also have some like essays that I really enjoyed, but I think I'm probably not going to reread them. And then I have some writing books that I really haven't touched since I bought them. This one's called The Last Draft. It's a guide on revision. And then this one is really good. It's Writing Irresistible Kidlit, and it's really great if you want to write middle grade novels. Back in the day when I bought it, I wanted to support the blogger Mary Cole because I thought her blog was really good. Kidlit is the name of her blog. I'm not sure if it's still around, but it was really helpful. I just don't want to write middle grade, and I don't want to write young adult or early young adult. And I also don't think I'm going to read this book on revising, to be honest. All right, so here are the books that will be leaving my bookshelves today. First up, this poetry collection, and then this collection of personal essays. I really enjoyed both of these. I just don't think I'm probably going to reread them, so those are being donated. I'm also decluttering these books on writing. I'm returning this book that my mom loaned me that was really good, but it is her book, so I'm going to be returning it to her. And I'm decluttering these two sequels. We've made it to the last bookshelf over here, so I'll be going through, removing everything, dusting, etc., Yeah, so we're almost there, which is really great. Very happy with the progress so far and how the other bookshelves look. And I'm ready to see the finished result. I can't believe I did it. I actually finished decluttering my bookshelves from top to bottom. We went through all the books, we went through all the stationery supplies and notebooks that I have on these bookshelves, and we kind of streamlined everything, pared everything down. I do have some white bins with tech equipment, and then I also have some art supplies and sketchbooks, but those will be another round of decluttering. I'm definitely going to film a separate video on decluttering my art supplies because I have so many of them. It's going to be an entire journey, to be honest. So today we're just patting ourselves on the back for getting through the bookshelves. I think they look really good now. I've been very happy with my stationery supplies so far. It's been a lot easier to grab stuff that I need. It does still look weird that this shelf is totally empty, but Buffy does lay out on this shelf and chill and nap while I'm working at my desk. And I just don't want to take that away from her, so we're gonna deal with the oddness of having a totally empty shelf. We're just gonna live with it, that's fine. I'm super happy with how everything turned out, so let's take a look at how these shelves look now. In their beautifully decluttered and dusted state. They're looking a lot better now. If you liked this video, let me know what you want to see me declutter next. I definitely have to go through all of my art supplies. I have quite a few of those. I want to do some decluttering and go through my toiletries and makeup. I also have what I lovingly refer to as the closet from hell, and it's just jam-packed with stuff, so I have to get in there at some point and really clean that out, and I think that will take a heavy burden off my shoulders to be able to open that closet and not fear for my life or fear that Buffy or Willow are going to run in there and disappear, because it is kind of like a Narnia-esque situation you go through. You end up in another world. It's kind of difficult to get back. Yeah, so definitely leave a comment about what you want to see me declutter next. I'll be posting a couple videos each week, so if you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe. My content will be mostly focused on decluttering and minimalism right now, and then I'll kind of move into just creative living, more intentional living, and just see where that takes me and where my ideas go. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.